Hi guys, so if you see me in two different attires, it's because I had to record before church and after church because of time. Today we're going to be talking about toxic feminism. I am getting my tripod ready. Disclaimer, I am not anti-feminist, I am not anti-feminism. Actually, I am a retired feminist. I was big on feminism when I was young especially because of the kind of books that I used to read and the kind of things that I was exposed to. I would post women empowerment stuff on my statuses and, I would claim Little Miss Independent and all of those stuff, but just not anymore. I'm going to be talking about feminism from a Christian girl's perspective. Feminism, like I said, I love what it stands for. Women wanted better for themselves. Women were advocating for better for themselves. They were seeking for equality. And I understand all of that. And all these great women actually paved the way for me and the rest of the women, for us to be great. But now, what do we see? Feminism has become gender wars, okay? And I hate to see it. It was never God's intention for his women, for his girls, for his baby girls to be feminists. God created us to be feminine. Also, God never created us to be independent. Even in the Garden of Eden, we see that God looked at Adam and said that it is not good for man to be alone. Even God, a whole God, looked at Adam and said that it's not good for Adam to be independent. It's not good for Adam to be there alone with no one he can fall on, no one who would hold him up when he needs it, with no one who would be like a support system. God knew that Adam needed partnership, Adam needed support, and so he made Eve. But now what do we see? We see women all the time claiming that they are independent women. I know that you say that I can do everything on my own. You can. I am not saying that you cannot. As a woman, you can do all of these things on your own because what? You are a superwoman. If that's what you want to say about yourself, you are. But the truth is, you don't have to. You don't have to do all of these things on your own. At a certain point in your life, you would realize the need for partnership. And that is why God made it so that one person doesn't have to carry all the burden. And that is why he created that avenue for marriage. Because if I, as a single person, had to carry 100% of the responsibility, now I have someone to lead the home who would take away some of the burden and say it frees up 50% of my mind. Now I can use that 50% free space to pursue purpose, and that will be an effective use of my time. So goes for the man. Nobody was created to have to do everything by themselves. So no matter how independent you are, you may think that yes, I'm independent because I am financially independent. That is just one bit of independence. So you may say I am an independent woman because I can cater for myself, buy myself everything that I want. That is financial independence, which is fine. But it doesn't make you fully independent because you cannot fully be even spiritually independent, because at a point in your spiritual journey you would need someone to lean on. You cannot fully be emotionally independent because at some point in time you would want to come home to someone whom you can share your problems with. And there are some problems that you cannot even share with your bestest friend in the whole world, but it needs to be shared with someone whom you entered into divine covenant with. It seems women are making up for some insecurities that they feel, because if you are something, you don't even have to tell me for me to know that you are something. If you're really confident in the fact that you're something, you don't go about telling everyone that, hey, look at me, I am this. You don't go about screaming and shouting it. At first I used to ask myself, what do men do, right? And adulting answered this question for me. what do men do? Because I was like Miss Little Independence, which I've already mentioned, and I was like, now women cook, now women clean, women have jobs, women get their own money. So most of the time I'm like, what do men do? Like, if I can do all of this for myself, then why do I need you? I was like that, right? And like I said, adulting taught me. Now, the thing about adulting is that you get to make a lot of decisions for yourself. There is no mom, there is no father, especially if you're living by yourself. You need to make a lot of the decisions for yourself and by yourself. And that decision part of adulting is just so exhausting and tiring, especially for me to decide what to wear and decide what to eat. I would pay for someone to do that for me. So I got to realize that men have the burden of making the entire decisions for the family. Men have the burden of leading the entire family. Like the whole livelihood of the family is in the hands of the man. I don't care how feminist you are. You can say women can also do that for themselves. Well, all the better. But we all know that men are the people that society is looking up to lead the entire family, whether you accept it or not. That is the natural order. And so that bit of having to make decisions is not an easy job. It's not an easy task. And that is why in a workplace, they pay the people who make decisions for the firm more than the people who do the physical work, like the cooking or the cleaning. Because the mental work, the mental load, the mental burden cannot be compared to the physical work like cooking and cleaning. And if I had to choose between the two, I would choose cooking and cleaning 5 times, 10 times over. Because decision making bit is not easy. If I have someone who would even tell me, okay, today cook this, I will be so elated. If I have someone who would say today wear this, I will be so elated. Because these are decisions, even these little tiny decisions are decisions that I hate to make. So should men cook and clean? This is like the foundation of the gender wars currently. Except I am on vacation, I live alone. And living alone means that I have to cook and clean by myself. If I don't do it, it doesn't get done. And so it's something that I have become so used to. If in the near future, I just have to continue doing it, personally, I don't see a problem. Whether I get help or not, I don't see a problem with that because it's something that I've been doing for myself. Nobody actually sat down to say that this is what a man must do or this is what a woman must do. But the thing is that when we look at our innate, our makeup, our natural makeup as men and women, men are naturally given more strength. They are more muscular, more muscles. Why? Because they do more of the heavy load, the heavy lifting, and all of that stuff. And women are more nurturing, and nurturing means that you cook, you clean, you take care of the baby, doing homemaking stuff. That no matter how much you want to argue with this, like, it doesn't change. So God has created me or women in such a way that naturally they want to nurture, they want to do all of these things. A man on the other hand will maybe want to fix the car, change the light bulb, carry the load and all of those things. And men don't impose on women to help them do the heavy load, the heavy lifting that they do. So why is it always the women who are saying men must cook and men must clean? If you are doing that for yourself already, like, what is the difference? And if your man wants to help, like, that is perfect. I'm not against men helping to cook and clean, but you should be able to get to the point where if he doesn't do it and he's doing other things that is moving the family forward, you also get to contribute your bit of cooking and cleaning. Like, what really is the big deal? Let's get to the two big words, submission and slavery. Is submission slavery? I don't know where this came from, but have you ever wondered why when we go to our workplace and we are being obedient to our bosses, people don't come online complaining that is slavery? Because there is an underlying agenda of the enemy to distort the whole institution of marriage, that now people think that submission is slavery. And for me, the big difference that I get from those two words is that For slavery, you do not have a choice. You do not even get to choose to be a slave. They just come and grab you and send you away. But for submission or for marriage, you have a choice to choose who you want to get married to. And that element of choice really separates the two. For slavery, you do not have a choice when you even get to eat, when you even get to go out to do your hair. No, who are you to even think about these things? You don't have a choice. Basically, submission is what happens at our workplace. There is a boss that we all acknowledge that he is leading the firm, but we are not his slaves. If the boss did not need you, he would not have employed you. He has employed you because he needs you. He has even employed you because he knows that you will bring your ideas to the table to run the organization or drive the organization. Right? They solicit for your ideas. It does not mean that they treat you as slaves, and when you go to work, they chain you, put chains on your hands and your legs, and they're commanding you with a cane behind you to whip you when you disobey them. No, that's not what happens. So basically, that is what submission is. And when it comes to the marriage setting, or when it comes to relationships in general, you are deciding to let the man lead. It does not mean that you are any less of a human. Submission is as simple a word as respect. And this whole gender wars is not something that I see as natural, because now there is all sorts of genders. Okay, where did that come from? Genders that can make a woman feel like she's a man, and vice versa. Where's all this coming from? Right? So there is something happening, there is something going on, and the enemy is slowly creeping, infiltrating the whole system with the notion that you don't need a man in your life. You can even be a man for yourself. You can take care of yourself. You can provide for yourself. You don't need a man. He wants to break down that institution of marriage, because he knows that marriage is important to God, and marriage sponsors the agenda of God for us to fill the earth. So he is also cunningly, subtly trying to just destroy everything. So see, we need to be wise. Submission is an honorable thing. The fact that you are a strong woman and you can still choose to submit, that is an honorable thing. That is not something that weak people do. That is something that strong people do. Of course, you need to choose a man that is worth submitting to. You need to choose a man that he is worth respecting. You need to choose someone that you can respect so that submission comes easy to you. So for me personally, I think submission is an honorable thing. So if you enjoyed this video, kindly like, subscribe, share, comment. I really want to know your thoughts about this, especially my Christian women. I want to know your thoughts about this. So kindly put all your thoughts, your questions, even your contributions in the comment section. Let's get the conversation going. I'll see you again. Oh, please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you again on our next video. Bye.